Surov. Did I get that right?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've been practicing.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you to UTR for this wonderful conference. So I'm Kumar Saurabh, co-founder and acting CEO at Sumo Logic. And what do? We turn logs into operational intelligence. And before I dive into a lot about how we do it, what I want to do is talk about why logs, right? IT teams today are charted with running business-critical applications smoothly 24/7. But shit happens, things break, systems go out of disk space, applications run out of memory. And more often than not, the answers are in the log data. If you're wondering how your users are using your applications, which feature is getting used very heavily, which is not, who are your active users, who are not, the answer is again in the log data. So log data is a really rich, it's very voluminous, but it's a really rich source of such intelligence. So far, there have been systems for the last 10 years that analyze, that collect, manage, analyze log data. But the data has been growing, doubling year after year for the last 5 years. And so people have taken the last generation of products and tried to scale it. And what has ended up is they ended up with a very complex deployment. Many of the customers and prospects we talk to tell us that they spend 60 to 70% of the time not using those solutions, but actually running and babysitting those solutions. And the volume is not just a problem in terms of how much horsepower it needs, but it's a big problem because how do you make sense of a terabyte of log data? What is it trying to tell you? If you start seeing 100,000 tweets flying across from you, how can you make sense of that data? And that's a really big problem. So what we have done is we have taken this big, gnarly problem and taken away the 95, 98% of the complexity by turning it into a cloud-based service. So with us, our customers, all they have to do is download these tiny footprint collectors and drop them next to their applications, whether they're running in cloud or they're running in data centers. And these collectors collect all of the log data, compress it, encrypt it, and send it to the cloud. And all the heavy lifting happens at Sumo Logic's end. Moreover, this entire service, we looked at it, we started 2 years ago. We built it from the ground up. We jettisoned the relational databases. They don't scale to this level. So we started from the ground up using much more recent technology. The entire architecture is very modular. Every module in the system can scale independently. If we need 10x more capacity, we can get that literally in minutes. And because of this, our customers no longer have to worry about how much log data they generate a day. Very small customers can easily generate 0.5 terabyte of log data a day. Come to think of it, that's more than all the tweets there are in the world. And expecting everybody to build these humongous log analytics platforms is too much to ask. On top of that, what we are doing, we are developing some very sophisticated analytics to make sense of all of this log data. You might get an exception, but that exception gets buried in 100,000 logs that come back at you. And you will easily miss that exception. We have built some technology that we call log reduce that will take those 100,000 log lines and boil it down to 10 or 20. Now an analyst can actually figure out, hey, here is the exception that I really need to go fix. How do we do that? Luckily for us, log data is very repetitive. So one line in code fires off 100,000 times a day. And we can reverse engineer, we can dedupe that back to that one single line. So by combining these three things, by making it really, really easy to adopt and maintain and use, and by providing an unprecedented scale and sophisticated analytics to deal with all of this log data at that scale, we truly have a next generation log management solution in this space that we are very excited about. And we launched a couple of months ago. There are several paying customers using that in production. We have a lot of beta trials going on at this point. Our business model is really simple. We charge by how much data are you going to send it to us every day? How long do you want to retain that data? We have a live sandbox available. We have a free trial, 30-day trial available. So if you're interested in solutions like that, I'll heavily recommend going and taking it for a spin. And in terms of background, just want to talk a little bit about the background of the founders. Myself and Christian Biedgen, both of us have been in this space for the last 10 years. Back in 2001, we started at a company called ArcSight that was using all of this log data for doing security event management. And later on, they also had a second product that was doing very generic log management. And we saw time and again that infrastructure and the volume of data, how it comes in the way of people understanding what all this data is telling them, and people effectively using the data. So we have seen this problem for the last 10 years. We also realized that log data is really a big data problem. Too much volume, too much variety in the log data, hundreds, if not thousands of log formats. And on top of that, you need answers in seconds. You can't wait for these 30-minute or 30 hours ETL cycles. That stuff does not work in operations, does not work in security. So we are very excited that we have a new way to do this. And we are very lucky to be funded by Greylock and Sutter Hill Ventures, two leading firms in the industry.
Great. Thank you. Now, Splunk went public, $3 billion valuation.